This is Karen with newclevelandradio.net, and it is Tuesday, March the 10th, 2026. And to all of you who are listening right now, right this moment, we are actually live on YouTube for the first time in weeks. So thank you, Zoom. Whatever you did right today, you did a good job. And, I didn't put together an intro today, Paul. And
Oh,
I'm going to tell you why. I was just lazy. That's all. It's just point blank. I was lazy. But what I'll tell everybody listening is that this is One in the World with Paul Seaburn and his sidekick, John Donalo. And we have three sponsors for the show. One happens to be the almighty author, Paul Seaburn himself. So if you go to www.paulseaburn.com, you will find his book. What would you say to a naked alien? And he's going to hold it up for us right now. And I'm not sure what I would say to the naked alien other than please put some clothes on. Um, we are also being brought to you by Henrietta Ivanez Inveris, and she has three beautiful books out there. And go to our show notes and you can read her books, and I think you will be quite happy. Also, we have Yes I Can Coaching with Karen, that's me, life coaching. And I will tell you that we all need a little bit of help in this life. So I need you to be my clients and you need me to be your coach. And with that, Paul, what are we going to talk about today?
wow. Thank you so much, Karen, for that non-introduction. The We appreciate your honesty, and that's one of your many redeeming qualities. And one of the good reasons to talk to Karen about Yes I Can Coaching with Karen. Get all those details at newclevelandradio.net, where Karen Hale, that first voice in your ear, is the media mogul. She is also the co-host of our show, the producer of many great podcasts at newclevelandradio.net. So please go there, check out our podcast, obviously, find out where we are on YouTube and on the other platforms. Then check out Karen's other podcast, all we different types of subject matter. None of them like What in the World. So you won't be duplicating your efforts. You'll be listening to unique podcasts no matter where you go at newclevelandradio.net. So thank you for doing all that, Karen. The other voice you heard, I don't know if you heard his voice so far this afternoon, boy, I'm telling. It's it's gonna be one of those days, kiddos. Get ready for it. My old buddy John Donalo, host of What in the World of Sports, my buddy from college, fraternity brother. How are you today, John?
I'm doing well, Paul. Looks like everyone is doing well, and I'm sure we've got a dynamite show coming up, seeing how you put it together. So we're waiting.
Dynamite, Jimmy J.J. Walker. That was his
Yeah.
That's right. That's
catchphrase.
right.
But there's an old reference for all you kids. Ask your grandpa about Jimmy Dynamite Walker on the Good Times show. That was his show. Anyway, wow. So we're on What in the World, everybody's favorite weird news podcast. Real news, sometimes weird, always funny. That's our motto. We think that it's always funny. We think that it's always weird too, but we'll give us a little bit of an out there just in case. Every week we get together here on Tuesday afternoons at 3:30. It is now Eastern Daylight Time. We're still recovering from that big time switch. So again, as Karen mentioned, thank you to all of you who are tuning in live. If you're tuning into us in the future, I hope we're still around when you are listening. We've got some great stories every week at 3:30 Eastern Time on Tuesdays. That's what day today is, Tuesday. Not exactly the prettiest day in Cleveland, Ohio. This is the season in Cleveland when no matter what you wear when you go outside, it's the wrong thing. So
Absolutely.
you just pretty much assume that that's going to happen and have a backup plan. Our backup plan is we have no backup plan. So we're going to delve right into what kind of stories I've got this week. As Karen asked before, let's see. Oh, fun story here from Florida. The oldest professional pool player who is still playing in tournament. She just finished a tournament in Las Vegas. Wait till you find out how old this lovely lady is. And a really good pool player as well. To get ready for Easter, for those of you getting ready for Easter, we've got an unusual record-breaking chocolate sculpture. So from Malta, of all places. So we're going to find out a little bit about that sculpture, a little bit about Malta too. Reasons why some people talk to chicken. Have you ever encountered anyone who talks to chickens in your coaching, Karen?
No, have you?
Oh, but we have a story about a lady who talks to her chicken, and also people who talk to their plant, and their plants talk back to them. This is the interesting twist and the weird twist to that story. We've got dangerous vanity license plate. The states always try to protect you from being offended by a license plate. Well, these are dangerous, and you'll find out why they're dangerous, but they are legal. So um, you're just going to have to prepare for them. Let's see what else. Oh, and this is one for John. I've got some record-breaking Pringles. John's favorite snack food, Pringles. So get ready.
That sounds good, Paul. Looking forward to it.
I guarantee after the show is over, you're going to be running for a can. I know that. Not the can, but a can. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, we got some more odd news. We've got world records. We've got trivia. John's got a great weird sport for us. And then we play everybody's favorite weird news game, Bluff the co-host. So let's get right to it with my favorite story of the week. A lady by the name of Maggie Kennedy. Maggie Kennedy is her name. She lives in Florida. Let's see, do I have the city? No, I don't have the city where she lives. But there's our, well, oh, I just lost her. Okay, let's see if I can do that again. So we have there's our background, and there's my book, What Would You Say to a Naked Space Alien? And Karen, by the way, the alien is standing behind a fence. So no one will be offended by the cover photo of the naked space alien.
I know, but I still think you should put some clothes on.
It's a long story. Don't worry, you won't be offended by any of the stories. They are very interesting and all true accounts told by people who have had accounts with all different kinds of aliens and flying saucers. More than one naked alien. I will give that teaser. Go to www.paulseaburn.com for more information. Now let's get to my lady Maggie Kennedy. So Maggie is already a Guinness World Record holder. She's a world record holder for the world's oldest competitive pool player, which she got a couple years ago at the age of 94. Maggie, here's a picture of Maggie, by the way. Maggie is now 98 years old. She plays pool every day, and she just finished competing in the BCA, that's the Billiards Congress of America, National Pool League in Las Vegas, the National Pool League tournament in Las Vegas, age of 98. In honor of her age, she was the only player in the tournament who was allowed to use her bridge for a bridge.
Oh, okay.
There you go, John. I wanted to start off with a horn right off the bat there.
That's okay. That's all right. Wow, 98.
98. Wow. She's so old, she remembers when cue balls had hair.
Oh, that's some doing
over my own jokes here. She may be 98, but she still blushes when her opponents compliment her on her rack. So I'm sorry. They have no special accommodations for Maggie, by the way, being 98 years old. There's a standard table, standard cue sticks. She always keeps one foot on the floor, which, I'm not 98. I'm much younger than 98. I have a hard time walking and keeping both feet on the floor. So, it's amazing to me that she's as good as she is at 98 years old. the best female pool player I ever saw, John, you can relate to this, was a nun. I have a picture of a nun playing pool here. This is not her. Sister Mary Eightball was her name. Uh, she had a cue stick made out of a yardstick. So, those nuns were dangerous with those yardsticks. I was thinking about this, and in fact, I did a little research. I won't mention any name, but there are still pool halls in Cleveland, Ohio. When we were growing up, and even long after that, those were unsavory places where unsavory people tended to hang out, and we were always told not to, stay away from the pool parlors. Um, not only were there hustlers there, but they were just, not nice people. Believe it or not, I just saw this, one of the places that they recommend people go to meet a date, to meet somebody to go out with, is pool halls. And they also say that one of the best places to take a date is to a pool hall, because apparently they serve food now. They serve food, they serve adult beverages. Is that true, Karen?
I wouldn't know. I haven't been to a pool hall.
I don't either. I haven't been to a long time. Um, so the and I also had to look up, in case anybody's interested, the difference between billiards and pool. Um, Billiards is pool with no pockets, which is kind of like women's clothing. Women's clothing is men's clothing with no pockets. Now, that's right, isn't it?
Yep.
My lovely wife would agree with that. So, did you have a pool table when you were growing up, John?
Not growing up, but when I was still living at home and a single,
Yeah.
I bought a pool table for the house or whatever. So we
Oh,
would
you
have.
did?
Oh yeah, yeah. So we had a pool table in our basement, right around when I was like 23, 24 years old. And actually
Ah,
me and my friends used to hang out, in the basement, listening to music and playing pool. But being savory, not being unsavory at that time.
Of course.
no, of course. John would never be unsavory. That's true. You have a pool table now, if I'm not
Yes,
mistaken.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I enjoy playing. Annette
Nice
and I
big
both
pool
enjoy
table.
playing. Yeah.
Did they put the pool table in the basement first and then build the house around it, or
No, and an amazing feat, not amazing so much, but they came in, the pool table assemblers came in, put the table together, and there it is. I don't know if I could ever get it out, at this point, so no, it's a permanent fixture in the basement, that's for
there you
sure.
go. It will go down with the ship. Yeah, it will
Yeah.
be. It'll end up being like the Beverly Hillbillies, the fancy eating table. The
Oh
uh
yeah, but they used to call the cue sticks the pot passers,
the
right?
pot
If you
passers.
remember.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go. Kids, ask your grandpa about the Beverly Hillbillies and the pot passers. Okay, so congratulations again to Maggie Kennedy. I looked up. I went to the BCA tournament, and it had listings of the top male and the top female, but it didn't have a listing for individuals, so I couldn't give you the Maggie's score. But I'm sure she won her age group at 98.
Oh
So,
yeah, I would think so.
oh
Wow.
yeah, yeah, okay, all right. So I had to think about the next story. I wasn't sure I wanted to talk about it because, well, it's about chocolate, and I gave up chocolate for Lent. Um, so I went to church and I asked the parish priest. I said, "Is talking about chocolate as bad for giving up chocolate as eating chocolate is?" And he said no, it's okay. And I said, well, what about if I use chocolate as a visual aid? And he said, no, that's okay. So and then I then I got technical. I said, well, what about a white chocolate? Can I eat that? And no, that's chocolate. Diet chocolate? No, that's chocolate. Unsweetened? He said, that's chocolate too. And I said, well, that's really unfair because it tastes terrible. I think
Yeah.
eating unsweetened chocolate should be a bigger penance than giving up chocolate. And that's when he threw me out. So this is a good story for Cleveland. We're a chocolate town. We have a really wonderful chocolate, many chocolate makers in town. One in particular that everybody knows, Mally's Chocolate. Uh, it has uh, a factory on Brook Park Road, and there's three giant like silos painted pink, with sugar. What is it on there? There's sugar, chocolate, and milk, I think, are painted on there. Something to
Yeah,
that.
I think that's it, Paul. Yeah.
And right next to it is a train track. And that's how I bring all of this together, because what we're going to talk about is the world's largest chocolate sculpture, which just happens to be a chocolate train.
Oh, does that look delicious?
Oh my goodness. This is the most chocolate I've seen in many lifetimes. So this comes from Malta, the island of Malta. And we talked about this once before. I didn't know where Malta was. John, you know where Malta is, don't you?
Malta's, yes, in the Mediterranean Sea. It's off of the coast of Greece.
Yeah. Is it closer to Greece or is it closer to Sicily? I always thought it was more Italian than Greek. Is that wrong?
That's I'm not certain of that, Paul. I'm not
Oh,
certain.
okay.
I just know it's in the Mediterranean.
Okay. All right. Well, this is a chocolate maker from the Isle of Malta. He took up the whole island with this chocolate. That's how big it is. I'll give you the stats in a minute. Um, but it is huge. So I was wondering, I was trying to think what the national food of Malta might be, because it's an independent country, if I'm not mistaken. And the only thing I could think of would be a malted milkshake. Um,
Oh, oh.
Turns out malt doesn't come from Malta. I did not know that. I had to do some research on that. The national food, guess what this one is. The national food of Malta. I'm not even going to ask you to guess because you'll never get it. It's rabbit stew. Of all things that I could think of, that was my last choice. Rabbit stew. So here they got all this chocolate. They can't celebrate Easter because all the kids are crying because the Easter bunny is in the stew.
Wow.
I don't know. I make chocolate malt the easy way. I take the chocolate and I put it in the microwave, and that's pretty much it. I just drink the chocolate. That to me, that's a chocolate shake right there. Anyways, malt, for anybody who cares, if you're still with us here, malt is any cereal grain that has been made to germinate by soaking it in water. And then as soon as it starts to germinate, you take the water away from it and you dry it in air in a process that is known as malting. So there you go, John, for your next trivia contest.
That's good. That's good
Wow.
information
Yeah.
for us to have, Paul. Yeah, very good.
So
So
this
that's
guy
how they
from
make those Whopper candies.
Whoppers. Oh yeah, my favorite, one of my favorite chocolates. Whopper, those malted milk balls come in a milk carton of all things. So this guy, his name is Andrew Ferrugia. He set a new Guinness World Record for the longest chocolate sculpture when he created this sculpture right here, a train 181 feet long, made entirely out of Belgian chocolate. The locomotive is made out of chocolate. All of the cars are made out of chocolate. The wheels, the brass that's there, that's actually gold leaf chocolate. Everything is chocolate. 22 cars, each one weighing 350 pounds. So I'm not even going to do the math on that one. It's 70,000 some pounds. I don't know how they got it to this shopping mall where it's on display. He built every kind of car except a caboose, because he says everybody who works at my chocolate factory already has a caboose. So I don't want to rub
Oh,
During the testing, John, they were
okay.
testing this chocolate train. They had it on a hill, and it accidentally rolled down and ran into a peanut butter car and left both of them in Reese's Pieces. On that, I'll give you a horn there. So his idea for this chocolate train was inspired by a movie. What movie, you may ask? Forrest Gump. He said that when they got it to Malta, they translated it into Maltese, and he thought that Forrest Gump said life is like a boxcar of chocolate. He always remembered that, and there you go. All of the boxcars and all of the passenger cars were solid chocolate. That's what all the cars were. He had no tankers, which I thought would be cool. Fill the tankers with chocolate milk. That would be the appropriate. Yeah. No, I'm really getting hungry now. He also owns the world record. Oh, I think I have a couple more pictures here. Let me see it here. while we're talking. Here you go.
Oh
It's
my.
a passenger car. Yeah. The you know, it's accurate. It's accurate right down to I know you can't see one in here, but it even has passengers in there licking the seats, because they're obviously it's sitting on chocolate seats. Why else would you be licking the seat? Don't answer that, John. Yeah.
I'm staying away from that one, Paul. No problem.
So here's another one. Here's people looking at it. Just gives you some idea how long it is. 181 feet long. And on one of the cargo cars, he has wooden crates made out of chocolate and a wooden sign, a chocolate sign on it that says "Visit Malta." So it's a big tourist attraction down there as well. This guy, he's a chocolate master. He also owns the world record for the world's tallest chocolate sculpture, which is 44 feet 4 inches high, a replica of the tallest skyscraper in Dubai, which I believe is the tallest skyscraper in the world. Um, you know, after being around so much chocolate and setting so many world records, he has one more world record, and that's the one for the world's largest zip. Because
I can see that happening.
Oh, he's eating this chocolate, John. How can you not work? How can you not eat it when you're working around it all the time?
Sure, sure.
Probably comes home smelling like chocolate. The I'm sure his wife appreciates that. The so what maybe he does too. I don't know. Moving on. While we're talking about trains and world records, um, this is a good one, John. This one comes from Italy. So this is an Italian airline pilot. His name is Dario Costa is his name. He became the first person to land. Now it's not a Boeing 737. It's a little private plane, but he became the first person to land a plane on a moving train. So
Oh my gosh.
yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I don't know if I have him landing here. He's already the photos of him landing didn't turn out too good. But here's the plane, single engine, one propeller on the train. He landed on the train. Um, this is a Zivco Edge 540 aircraft. Landed it on the last car, which was traveling at 75 miles an hour. And then he managed to take off and fly away. He's now being sued for revealing the plot of Tom Cruise's next movie.
Wow.
First thing I thought of is what's going to happen if this plane is heading towards a tunnel? And all I could think of, this is the plot of another Roadrunner and Wile E. Coyote movie, where the plane slams into the stone mountain before the train goes underneath it, and the Roadrunner's standing up there laughing at the guy, the pilot. Um, so he originally wanted to land on a moving Amtrak train, but Amtrak moved so slow, his plane kept stalling out. So no,
Apologies to
yeah,
everyone at Amtrak.
there you go. I think this is the perfect way to get toy trains popular again. Because everybody's, people don't play with toy trains anymore. Did you have a train set? You and your brother, you had two brothers. I'm sure you
Oh,
had
absolutely,
one
we
train
did.
set.
Sure. Oh, yeah, yeah. We had the Lionel train set, and we got it. Call it the Trading Post, which is a famous hobby store in Cleveland on the west side. But
That's
yeah.
right. That's right. Yeah. Lionel, that's right. Um, the so I'm thinking, kids have drones, they don't have trains. I think Lionel should team up with a drone company and reenact this in toy trains. I think that'd be a fun thing to do. Um, I had a model railroad myself when I was a kid. At least I had it until my sister found out that I was taking her Barbie and tying it to the tracks and
Oh, you did that. Wow.
yeah, yeah. My favorite cartoon character was Snidely Whiplash. So that,
Uh-huh.
that was his thing. So trivia time, John. Snidely Whiplash, two-part question. Number one, what cartoon was he the villain in? And number two, what cartoon series was that cartoon part of? So what cartoon was he in?
I'm gonna say Rocky and Bullwinkle.
You got that's the second part. That's right. That was the Rocky Bullwinkle had a number of cartoons besides their own. This
Sure.
the Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties was
Yeah.
Of the Canadian Mounties, right? Dudley
Canadian
Do-Right.
Mounties. That's right. And Snidely Whiplash was the villain. The ask your grandparents, kid. The So now here's another one for your trivia buffs out there. The first documented model railway. When do you think it was, John? What about what year?
Let's try 1905.
1905. You're off by at least 50 years. The
Wow.
Whoa,
Yeah, the
really?
first documented model railway was the Railway of the Prince Imperial, built in 1859 for Emperor Napoleon III for his son Napoleon IV. I think it was his name was Leo Napoleon, something like that. He was 3 years old at the time. It was on their chateau in Paris. That's where it was built. It was powered by clockwork of all things. So they had to wind it up, and the clockwork made it. I don't have any pictures of it because they didn't have cell phones back then. And it ran in a figure eight. So it ran in a figure eight, and then little Nicholas showed that he would be a future emperor. He straightened the eight out, and he had the little toy train, invade a little toy Poland. So, Russia. Look, I think they invaded Russia, if I'm not mistaken, Napoleon. Like father, like son.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
Yeah,
did.
yeah. All right. So, Canada. Well, our next story comes from Canada. Tough traveling these days, even if you're not trying to land on a moving train. If you're just getting on a regular airplane, it's tough traveling. So a Canadian psychology professor, Karen, this is for you. She says that she travels with, in order to help her deal with the stress and anxiety of traveling, she travels with an emotional support chicken. Yes, she carries a chicken on the plane with her, which she claims she got from a farm in British Columbia. Now, I thought this is silly, but I tried that once. I don't know if I told you about this, John. I traveled with an emotional support chicken one time that I got from Costco, and you know it made me feel better because it was nice and warm. I had it on my lap, and then eventually I shared it with the rest of the people in my aisle. So we were all happy. So it was an emotional support chicken for the entire row on my plane. Um, so obviously she used the live chicken, and she even designed a special little diaper for the chicken. Um, Now, I was trying to figure out how she would do that. To me, I would take an egg carton and I'd cut it into 12 little individual diapers, which would also come in handy if the chicken laid an egg, because they do use the same basic anatomy for doing both of those things.
Paul, this is quite a story you got here.
Yeah, I don't want to get into too many details here. So who gets comfortable holding a chicken? That's what I don't understand. They wiggle around, they peck, they poop, they do all that kind of, they cluck. Um, the to me, I think the chicken would get anxiety on a plane anyways, because it looks out the window and it realizes, I can't fly. What am I doing up here? Um, the chicken needs an emotional support animal for herself. Maybe a pig, an emotional support pig, except only bad things happen when pigs fly, so you don't want to put a
No,
either, right?
you got the horn out there for that one, Paul. That's a good one.
Sure. We're doing horn requests here, people. I knew this woman once, by the way, who had an emotional support frog. I'm not kidding. She had an emotional support frog. The frog told her that he was actually a prince, but then she heard about Prince Andrew, and she says, I'll have better luck if he stays a frog. So,
Uh,
so maybe if you don't want to take a live chicken on the plane, maybe we could use emotional support plant. You've never heard of an emotional support plant? Let me tell you about them. There's a and I'm not talking about marijuana. The so plants could give you emotional support if they could talk to you. And guess what? Now they can. there's a biotech artificial intelligence device called Plant GPT, uses AI to monitor and analyze the health of your house plants. Here's a picture of the device right here. And then it turns their mood into conversational, user-friendly language so your plant can talk to you. Yes.
No.
Yeah. So far, the most common things that plants say to their owners is water, dog, and I can see what you're doing in the bedroom, don't you? There's also a larger version for farmers, because while they're out riding the field, and the most common things that the field of wheat says to farmers is water, bugs, and we can see what you're doing in that tractor, don't you?
Okay.
So this was developed by a group of students at Spelman College in Atlanta, and they've been getting straight A's because they've been giving these plants to their professors and not telling them that the plants can hear everything and then come and tell them what they're doing. So they know what's on all the tests. The plants, yeah, how about that? The plants can also communicate with each other, which is really scary, because what are they going to be talking about to each other other than he never waters me, the dog pees on me, and I'm so tired of watching them in the bedroom. And also they also say, "Hey Siri, play a Little Shop of Horrors again," because yeah, very scary. There's a picture of an amazing recreation of a plant giving his mind, giving a piece of his mind to his owner. The mostly I would think plants get mad at you because you watch, most people, I know I do this. I watched This Old House, and I always fast forward through the landscaping because I want to see the plumbing and the carpentry, not the landscaping, which is what my plant would rather be watching, is the landscaping. So they got to be mad about that. They've obviously seen you naked. They've even seen you standing naked in front of the refrigerator eating cold pizza. So, they put up with a lot. I'm honest to God, I think the real reason plants need a voice is because they need therapy, right? Or at least some coaching care. And maybe
I can
there
coach
you go.
Yeah.
If they could earn some money, the so what does artificial intelligence know about real plants? That's the other thing I was trying to figure out, knowing what we know about artificial intelligence. It's artificial, it's not real, it's artificial intelligence. So it might be good for plastic plants, but when it comes to thinking like a real plant, I think I'm not sure if I would trust it. So how about a story to restore our faith in humanity? We need that, don't we?
Yes,
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, sorry. Everybody was asleep on that one. This is what happens when nobody shows up at rehearsal except me. So if let me check something here. This might restore our faith in humanity and also maybe in politicians as well, at least in New York. So New York's governor, her name is Kathy Hochul. She recently overruled a ban by the New York State Department of Motor Vehicles, her own state's motor vehicles. She overturned a ban and allowed a Long Island grandfather to keep his custom license plate, which read, here's a picture of it. I'll read the letters to you. P before we go.
I love it. I love
Isn't that a great license plate?
Yes.
John has no comment on it.
No,
Did
it's
John
fine.
freeze up on it?
No, it's
Oh,
fine.
there he is.
I think it's clever. I think it's a
I'll
clever
tell you what.
vanity plate.
Yeah, you're a boomer if you see that on the car in front of you and you decide I need to pull over at the nearest rest stop because the power of suggestion is high in this life.
Really?
Yeah. I don't. So, people actually objected to that, and she overruled it and said, "No, come on, that's a harmless license plate."
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. The DMV, and this is not just New York, but all DMVs, they prohibit vanity license plates bearing messages that could be construed as, and I quote, derogatory, contemptuous, degrading, disrespectful, or inflammatory. I'm sorry. If you need to pee before we go, there's something else that's inflammatory besides the license plate.
Yes, right.
That's your problem. So the State Highway Patrol even warned the guy before he got his dispensation. They warned him that having somebody on board who ignored the license plate is not an acceptable excuse for speeding to the nearest restaurant. Just stop. So I was looking at some other license plates in all around the country, vanity license plates that are within the same theme. So I saw, I don't have pictures of all of them, but one was Gonna Be Late. That was a good one. I Need to Pee was another one, INNED to pee. And then once you've satisfied that need, there it is, I need to pee. Once you're once you're done with that one, then you have I'm done.
I love it. Yes.
And after all that, and I sat and laughed for a half an hour looking at these, I found the license plate for me, which is this one right here. I'm not okay.
That's an Ohio plate. Yeah, right.
That's an Ohio plate, by the way. Okay, so we got one story for John here. We pick on John for his love of Pringles. And you're not the only one, John. I like Pringles. They're not my favorite potato chip, but I certainly wouldn't turn down one or two or an entire can of them if someone would me. So this comes from Cambridge University. So a math professor at Cambridge University is, I think, I'll make you hungry here, John. There's a picture of a Pringles can and some Pringles.
Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. It's the original right there. Sure.
Oh, yeah. How could you not recognize them? So this Cambridge University math professor by the name of Hannah Mary Fry, she did a study on Pringles. This is your kind of job, John. Maybe not doing the study, maybe being a volunteer.
Oh, I would be happily volunteer for sure.
She did a study on the reason why people can't stop eating Pringles. Maybe you should call your lovely wife in because she probably wonders this too. What she found is that because they are, and I quote, they are so processed, they're basically pre-digested. They're like macerated in a lab and then reconstructed. So what happens is when you eat them, they literally dissolve before they reach the part of your body that sends out a hormone saying, I'm full.
Wow.
Scientific study, huh? Wow.
Yeah. In spite of that, John, I'm sure you still want to have some. This is
Oh, yeah, it's too much of a good thing, right? It's okay, right?
exactly,
Every once in a while.
If listening to that and looking at these Pringles makes you want to go open a can, it means the Pringles have won. That's basically.
Oh.
And I loved her description of it. Macerated potatoes. It's made from macerated potatoes. I think we saw macerated potatoes open for meatloaf back in the day.
Paul, you might be right on that. I'm not sure.
On the same bill, they were perfect together. And wavy gravy would have to. Poor Wavy Gravy just passed away the last few months ago, but also Country Joe and the Fish. Country Joe passed away the other day. He played at
I did not know that, really.
Yeah, he just passed away. He played at Meatloaf. He played the "Fixin' to Die" rag, which is his most famous song. But turns out, if you look up his the articles written about him, the tribute, he was really quite a talented musician and had quite a few other songs that were all none as popular as that Vietnam era song. So, anyways, Pringles are shaped like a saddle. Everybody knows that shape. You can't miss it. There's a reason why they're shaped like a saddle. It's to remind you that if you eat enough of them, you're never going to be able to get on a horse. So
the power of suggestion there, right?
No kidding, John. I know. This is your, so I said before, this is your new retirement side gig. Getting paid to test Pringles. I mean, you need to send her your resume and maybe a picture of you eating some Pringles or a stack of them, you know.
As a quick side note, did you notice that there was a position open with Wendy's looking for their chief tasting officer? And
No.
Annette said, you should think about applying for that job, John. I said, well, yeah.
Oh,
What are the credentials for that position?
I don't know. And liking Pringles, I would guess being able to chew. Uh,
Yeah.
and after her description, I'm not sure that you even have to chew Pringles. I think if you just put them in your mouth and let the saliva do its number on it, you probably don't even have
Yeah,
to.
let the saliva dissolve it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
ah,
Yeah.
The
yeah.
okay, this is so I was looking for some records having to do with Pringles. There's no record for the tallest stack of Pringles. I was shocked. I thought that for certain somebody would make try and make the world's tallest stack of Pringles.
It
But
will now.
well, the study explains why, Karen. You as soon as you start stacking, you want to eat them. So
Oh,
it's a
okay. Yeah.
it's a race between appetite and desire for record, and appetite for Pringles always wins, according to the study. So don't even bother trying, John.
Okay. Thanks for the heads
However,
up.
here's another one. If you like, and you do like to save things, if you can get away with saving your Pringles cans, Pringles itself set the Guinness World Record for the world's largest can pyramid. That would be a pyramid made out of empty cans of Pringles. They held the competition at the giant hypermarket in Dubai's big fancy mall, the world's largest mall, where they made the world's largest Pringle can pyramid. I have a picture of it here. Here it is right there.
My gosh.
Yeah, yeah, quite a structure there of multi types of Pringles. Take a guess, John. How many Pringles cans do you think that is?
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say 5,500.
Oh,
5,500.
gotta be more than that.
Yeah, Karen says higher. This is like
Yeah.
Price is Right. Uh,
Okay.
so Karen, yeah, Karen wins the actual retail value. The retail total of Pringles cans is 31,000 cans of Pringles. That's how.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
All different flavors: original, hot and spicy, sour cream and onion. They're all in there. Uh, the pyramid measures 3 meters height, 10 feet by 69 feet, 10 feet wide by 69 feet um, in the other direction, which is also how big you get after you eat 31,000
Yeah.
Pringles. John, do you think you've eaten that many in your lifetime?
No, I know I haven't. Come on. I
Well,
mean,
let's do the
even
math. Let's let's
Uh,
So let's say you eat 1 can of Pringles a day, about 1 can a day. So let's say you eat about, that would be about 300 a year. 1 can a day, about 300 a year. It would take you, what, how many years? 100 years to get to 31,000
yeah. Yeah.
cans. So you still got a ways to go, John.
no,
The next,
I'm in the clear on this one, guys. Come on
yeah,
now.
I was going to say, the next question is, based on how many you've eaten so far, do you need to speed up or can you afford to slow down? That's the question.
Oh, I could probably afford to slow down, I would think. It'd be better for me and everyone.
All right, and on that note, on that Pringles note, because I know John wants to finish up real fast, so we can go have a can. I have we're done with my portion of What in the World, and that means it's time for What in the World of Sports with John Donalo. Regular listeners know that John and I go back to our college days. We met on the second day of school. We're fraternity brothers, and John knows more about sports than anybody I know, and more about trivia as well. So he's the perfect person to host this segment of our show. Every week, I challenge him to come up with a sport that fits the theme of real sport, sometimes weird, always funny. John always manages to top whatever he brought last week. this week is no exception. John, why don't you introduce your sport to the listeners out there?
Oh, I will, Paul. Thanks for the introduction. So, our sport this week is unique, and I'm going to guess that it's one that you've probably never heard of. The name of the sport is teak ball, and I'll spell it for you: Teqball. Let me explain. Teak ball combines elements of soccer and table tennis in a game played on a curved table. The ball must bounce only once on the table, and players can hit it with any part of the body except arms and hands. Like table tennis, teak ball can be played as singles or as doubles. As to the origin of the sport, teak ball was invented in 2014 in Hungary by three soccer enthusiasts: former professional player Gabor Borsani, political entrepreneur Georgi Gatyan, and computer scientist Victor Husar.
Wow,
Now,
you did well on those names.
thank you, thank you. I was practicing, practicing. Borsani liked to play soccer on a table, on a table tennis table, but the horizontal design made the ball bounce out of reach. So he got mad and tried to break the table over his knee. When it only bent, he tried playing that way, and teak ball was born, or something to that effect. Now, they named it teak ball because you need technique to play the game, and you do play it with a regular soccer ball. The sport was officially presented in Budapest in 2016 by Brazilian ex-soccer player Ronaldinho, and it quickly became popular with the world-class soccer players. It was included in the 2021 Asian Beach Games and also the 2023 European Games, and now is aiming for Olympic inclusion.
Wow.
And as we all know, well, at least through the Winter Olympics, it hasn't been included yet, but people are trying to make that happen. Now, the game is represented on an international level by the International Teakball Federation, or FITQ, which sets the rules. I love that acronym, FITQ. But it is so this game is played with a standard soccer ball that is underinflated. The table is curved and measures 9 by 8 feet in length and by 5 feet 7 inches wide, and the highest point is at 2 feet 6 inches in the middle. The official competition teak ball is 39 feet wide by 52 feet long by 23 feet high. Uh, Teak ball court, excuse me. I left the word court out, but that's the dimensions of the court. Now, a match consists of the best of three sets. Like table tennis, a player has two attempts to complete a successful service. Unlike table tennis, it is forbidden to touch the ball or return the ball with the same body part twice consecutively.
Wow.
Every player or team is allowed to return the ball with a maximum of 3 touches by any body part, except the hands and arms. In doubles, a team has a maximum of 3 touches. However, the teammates must pass the ball at least once to each other. Just as a quick note, this is a very, very difficult sport to play. I mean, to say the least. I mean, you really have to exert, your skill and have to have technique, as the title states. The Teak Ball World Championship is an annual competition that is organized by FITQ. The first was held in Budapest, Hungary, with more than 20 nations participating.
Wow.
The 2023 Teak Ball World Championships was organized outside of Europe for the first time, and it was held in Bangkok, Thailand. The championships have been won by Hungary 4 times, and Thailand 3 times, and Romania once. In closing, teak ball sounds like the perfect sport if you live in an old house that you inherited from your parents. All you need is a warped ping pong table, a basement with no suspended ceiling, an underinflated soccer ball, and some friends, and probably some beer.
Wow.
Definitely some beer. Definitely a warp. I had the warp picnic ping pong table. That's for sure. The
Uh-huh.
the I don't I was looking at some of those pictures, John, of those guys kicking the ball and women as well. It was co-ed,
Mhm. Right,
and
right.
I don't think the basement in my mom's house was not high enough. The ceiling was not high enough for us to be doing any kind of kicking um, of soccer balls on a warp table.
Yeah, I think that'd be rather difficult, Paul.
Wow, unbelievable sport that is, right there. And here they are. I thought they were standing on a table, but it's just a curved platform. I like this picture at the end here because they make money doing this. The winning team
Yeah.
here got $20,000.
Right, right.
Yeah, second place 13,000, third place 8,000. And I don't even think this is 2026. I think the 2026 tournament was just held the in earlier in March. So I don't know who won this year, but Hungary obviously being the home of the original home.
It's the hotbed of teak ball.
I guess so.
Uh,
I guess so. Now, I was thinking, you were right. I thought at the beginning that I had never heard of a sport like this. But I'm trying to think if we had a Hungarian fraternity brother, because I know we participated in a sport like this while we were in college. One of the other fraternities, maybe they had a Hungarian member, and they challenged us to some form of bent table soccer table tennis. Do you remember that, John?
Paul, I'm going to have to rely on your memory on this one.
Okay, well, don't rely on my memory. Fortunately, I have access to the old newspapers, the Carroll News, and with even some pictures. So we were challenged to this. I don't know if they called it teak ball or just you know bent table tennis soccer. It's some weird name. So John and I were responsible for bending the table. That was the primary job, was getting a table that was bent. And so we tried. Here's our first attempt at it. The
Oh, wow.
we it was more of a wavy table than a bend. Actually, it was
Yeah, I would say that's very wavy.
very wavy. That's right. I don't think we had enough beer to be able to play on that one there. That poor co-ed, looking at it, didn't. It must have been her table. She was pretty upset about it. So then we got a different idea. We thought maybe we were bending it in the wrong direction. So instead of bending the ends down, we tried to bend the ends up, and we kept bending and bending until we ended up with like what looked like a sewer pipe. Uh, and which looked like, I think we might have been able to handle that. I'm not sure,
Well,
but
Paul, it looks like the participants, they do have table tennis rackets, right? That's
yeah,
what
they have
they
table.
yeah.
They even have a net in there too. So I don't know. I don't know if it's. We attempted to play ping pong at least. I don't see any soccer balls around there. So then
No.
John got the brilliant idea. He says, if you can't beat them legally, let's cheat. So we came up with a table that we couldn't bend. So what we did was we cut holes in it. And
Oh, my.
we figured that we ought to be able to at least avoid the holes in the ping pong table. And I believe we won, and then we all went and had some beer afterwards, and had, as always, in the spirit of fraternities, we got together over a beer. So there you go, tech ball, teak ball, whatever you want to call it, the new sport of the 2020s, coming to an Olympic competition near you.
Yeah, there is a lot of groundswell support to try to get some traction with this to get it more recognized.
Looks like
Um,
fun. Looks like fun to me. I think I'd be interested in watching it. Okay, well, I think we've reached the end of What in the World of Sports. Thank you again for that, John. And that means
oh,
it's
you're welcome, Paul.
sure
Sure.
it's time for Bluff the co-host, everybody's favorite weird news game. Oh, it's the game that's sweeping the world because it's easy to play. I've got three stories similar to the ones we've been talking about all afternoon. One big difference, those stories were real. These stories may be real, may be a bluff. And it's up to Karen, John, and those of you playing at home to decide real or bluff. Wagering is allowed, so place your bets. John and Karen, hands on the buzzer. Let's get right to story number one. If you've ever wondered if the Panda Express could serve real panda, the answer is yes, but only in Laos, which is the only country in the world where it is legal to eat panda. Restaurants in Laos serving panda are anything but express. It takes at least 24 hours to slow roast an entire panda carcass using the traditional spices and recipes passed down through generations. It is also rare for them to even have a panda to cook because it's illegal to kill one. The restaurants must get on a list and then wait for one to either get hit by a car or die of old age at the local panda park. When served, panda tastes nothing like chicken. Connoisseurs say it's more like wild boar mixed with venison, and it's very chewy, so be prepared for a long meal. If you're visiting Laos, let your hotel know you're interested in a panda meal, and they'll try to book it. And remember, the best wine to drink with panda is whatever you can afford after spending $500 for a panda dinner. Okay, so if you're interested in eating panda, there's one place in the world where you can do that, and that's in Laos, where it's legal to consume panda meat. Real or bluff? Karen, we'll start with you.
I don't want to eat a panda bear. They're so cute. Please tell me this isn't real. Fake.
So you say it's a bluff.
Bluff.
It's a bluff. I don't want. You're not going to Laos anytime soon, are you?
I wasn't planning on going. No,
Okay.
no.
Now for sure, if it's real, you're not going. Okay, so Karen says it's a bluff. John, how about you?
Yeah, I agree with Karen. I think this is a bluff. I mean, first of all, there is a limited supply of panda, obviously, because they can't be hunted. So how plentiful are you going to have this kind of meat to be on your menu? And then the second part is $500, like a $500 cost for a panda dinner. I just don't think that's realistic either. So I'm going to say it's a bluff.
Well, if it was real, would you try it?
No.
Okay.
If it tastes like a combination of wild boar and venison, I've eaten wild boar before when I'm not a fan of it by any means. Venison is all right, but no, it just sounds prohibitive.
How about if it tasted like black and white chicken?
Oh well, that'd be a little bit different, I guess, Paul. That
Oh,
that, that would cast a different color on it.
uh, we'll take that as it's a bluff. Okay, so both John and Karen say it's a bluff. Let's check with the judges, and the judges say congratulations to both of you. Pandas are an endangered species in every country in the world. No one, but no one, is allowed to eat panda. So there you
Good.
go.
Okay, all right, good.
How
Well,
about
that's
that?
good. We're off and running, Karen. That's
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. Okay. Scores 1-1. Let's get right to story number two. They say if life gives you lemons, make lemonade. A man in Ecuador says life has given him an unlimited number of teeth, so he makes a living selling them to dental clinics, jewelry makers, and kids who lose their own when they fall out. It turns out he's the only known person with a condition that causes his teeth to grow, fall out, and grow again. It has been going on since he was a child, and at first his parents were worried. However, when his dentist said it was rare but not harmful and offered to buy the extra teeth, the young entrepreneur decided this would be his career, at least until it stopped. He's now in his early 20s and estimates he has grown, lost, and sold over 300 teeth. That's about one mouthful per year. Most go to the dental clinics because they pay the best, but he's been known to lower his price for children who accidentally swallow their baby teeth and have nothing to put under their pillow for the tooth fairy. Okay, so the man in Ecuador whose teeth constantly fall out and grow back in again, so he makes a living selling them to dental clinics. Real or bluff? John, we'll start with you this time.
Well, I don't think this is real. I mean, it to me, it just sounds really implausible, like as to how people can, a person can grow teeth back that they lose. I've never heard of it, and that doesn't mean that's why it's a bluff, but I just don't think it's a real story. I don't think it holds any water, so to
Oh, it
speak.
doesn't hold any
Oh.
water. Okay, John. So John says it's a bluff. Karen, how about you?
I don't think it's possible either, um, because your teeth are already there when you're born. So I'm going to say it's a bluff.
Okay. Okay. You know more about teeth than we thought you did.
Mhm.
So so both Karen and John say that's a bluff as well. Let's check with the judges, and the judges say, "Boy, you guys are on the money today. That's two in a row. It is a bluff."
Of course.
Wow.
All right, Karen, way to go.
Very
Good.
good. Okay, so the
Yeah.
score is tied 2-2. Points are doubled in round number 3. We will either have a winner or we will have two winners. So let's see what we have with story number 3. A woman in Germany owns over 18,000 different Barbie dolls, but her real claim to fame is how well she knows them. On a recent television show, she was blindfolded and handed random Barbie dolls from her collection, handled them for a few seconds, and then identified them just by feeling their hair, shape, and the outfits they were wearing. Some of the dolls she identified were Halloween Barbie, Ponytail Barbie, Superstar Barbie, and Beauty Secrets Barbie. The judges even tried to trick her, but she also identified Surfer Ken and a special edition Elvis in the Army. After naming 19 Barbies correctly in 3 minutes, she's hoping to qualify for a world record. And just to make sure her mean little grandsons don't try anything funny with her Barbie dolls, she does not own a microwave oven. Okay, so a lady in Germany who not only has the world record for 18,000 different Barbie dolls, she knows them so well she can identify them while blindfolded. Real or bluff? Back to you, Karen, our only Barbie doll owner in this group.
No, I never had a Barbie doll.
No, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
You
no.
need a coach. You
I
would-
had a fake. I had a fake Barbie.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah.
movie.
My parents were like that. They gave me fake
Oh.
stuff. Anyways, um,
This is this is a different show, Karen. This is
oh, that's right.
that's
That's
for
right.
your other podcast.
Yeah. Um, I'm going to say it's real. I think you could know your stuff well enough and be able to touch it and know what they're wearing and identify it. So, yeah, real.
Okay. Wow. Karen says that's a real story. John, I know John didn't have a Barbie doll.
My sister was a big Barbie doll collector, though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, even through in her adult life or what have you,
Wow.
she was a
I'm
huge,
so
huge
shocked that your
person.
sister was a collector as well. So
Well, it runs in the family, Paul, as you know. As you know. Well, I'll tell you what, I think this is real also. I mean, I think that, again, to Karen's point, if you have that many of them, you can discern, what outfits they are wearing and, which ones they are. So I don't find that to be very odd at all. And although it is very unique, I would say, but I'm going to say it's
wow.
real.
Okay. Oh, so wow. Karen and John have agreed on all three of these, and this time they agree that this story is true. It's real. Let's check with the judges, and the judges say this is really rare. We had two perfect scores in 1 week. Both John and Karen have
Hey, way to go,
all three
Karen.
correct. So congratulations to both of you.
Very good.
That's a unique situation right there as well,
That,
John.
that's very rare. Let's put it
Very
that way.
good.
Very rare. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, cards for you this week. No flashcards no flashcards. Karen, you can deal with your Barbie issues instead of practicing.
I will. I'm going to cry. Okay. I'm done crying.
There we go. This is a too much information show right here, and we are going to end it at that point. I want to thank Karen Hale, our media mogul, our co-host, producer. Thank you for everything you do for us and everybody at newclevelandradio.net. all of our listeners and viewers, please check out newclevelandradio.net for the latest in Karen's podcast, for information on all of our sponsors, for information on Yes I Can Coaching with Karen, all that good stuff. If you want more information, and that's that's already enough, I think, but go to my website, paulseaburn.com. You get information on me and also on how to get my book, What Would You Say to a Naked Space Alien, and some other collections of my writings and my other podcast, which is It Could Only Happen on Earth. So more paranormal things than just weird news here, but check that out as well. You can also visit us on Facebook, and the reason why I mentioned that is send us messages. We like to get messages from our listeners telling us how much they enjoy the show. If you don't like it, send that message to somebody else. But we also collect ideas. So if you're interested in submitting an idea to us, we'd be more than happy to take a look at it. And many of them end up on our show. So thank you, Marianne. Marianne sent me something this week that may show up on next week. And I think, and then I want to thank my old buddy, John Dinalo, host of What in the World is Sports, color commentator, all around good guy, knows his trivia, knows everything. John, fun show today as always.
Oh yeah, thanks, Paul, Karen, and audience. It's always great to do it, and again, especially when we have each of us, Karen and I, both getting each Bluff the co-host correct.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a great feeling.
This is the most important part for John. So in case you haven't figured that out.
It's a great feeling. It is.
There you go. Well, I'm glad you feel good, John. I hope all of our listeners feel the same, whether you got all three right or not. We hope that you have as much fun listening and viewing our show as we do putting it on every week. You're the reason why we do it, and keep coming back. This is our 9th year. So thank you so much for giving us the incentive. Thank you to Channel 13, WCTU.
Cleveland 13 News.
Cleveland 13 News. Thank you very much. Cleveland13news.com, I believe, is their website, but just Google Cleveland 13 News and it will take you there. Thank you so much for supporting us, and we'll be having more news about Channel 13 as the year progresses. So on that note, it's not a great day here to go outside in Cleveland, Ohio, but I hope it is wherever you are. I know it is where John is. So any big events? We got St. Patrick's Day coming up next week.
Well, and the big thing, if you go to cleveland13news.com, on Friday, there's going to be a big announcement on the 13th. So I'm going to tell everybody just to keep checking it out and wait and see what's happening. And I can't even tell the two of you. So there.
Wow. It's important.
Friday the 13th.
It's important.
For a change, Friday the 13th will be lucky for somebody. Let's find out. Maybe more, many somebodies.
Maybe.
Check it out on Friday the 13th.
And we'll announce it next week. Okay.
Right. We'll see everybody next week on